12 minutes to 2588. Look, I went to... do you remember the old revolving restaurant at Glenelg? The building's still there. The restaurant doesn't exist anymore. But what is happening up there now is quite fascinating. It's become the Glenelg Business Hub. And I had cause to go there, and it's quite spectacular. A lot of small businesses are set up in the revolving restaurant area. Most impressive. You have the best outlook in Adelaide. They have a cafe, bar facilities, and that's where I met barista Sam Hermel. And we had a bit of a chat. He's a friendly, young, personable guy, and on his apron he had Milk Chef. And I just had to ask, what's Milk Chef all about? And it was a fascinating story, so fascinating that I got him to have a chat with me today. Sam, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, g'day, Graeme. How you doing?
Look, I'm good, thanks. And you make a pretty good coffee too, by the way.
Thank you very much. Well, I wouldn't be much of a milk chef if I couldn't make a good coffee.
Yeah, so more than making a good coffee, you teach people to make coffee. How did that come about? How did that come about?
Yeah. Well, it's a bit of a long story, so hopefully we've got some time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, basically started in the industry about 10 years ago, the hospitality industry, that is. I really loved it. I'm a bit of a people person, as you might have seen when you met me. And I, love learning new skills and meeting new people. Like most people, I worked in the industry because it fit around my study schedule. I was actually studying psychology at the time, and I like to joke that I realised that I could make more people more happy more often as a barista than as a clinical psychologist. So, so I ended up, no matter where I went, I ended up being a manager, and I found that I had a knack for, simplifying things, and that I really enjoyed teaching people and seeing them succeed in the industry. And so eventually I started Milk Chef. And when COVID first hit, I started to realise, and like most people in the hospitality industry, I sort of lost my hours and things like that, and I had Milk Chef sitting there. It had been going for about a year at that time, and I started to realise that, people are going to need skills. People are going to need skills to get jobs once things start opening back up. So I started getting right into Milk Chef and met George at Business Hub, and the opportunity just flowed from there, and met yourself, and here we are.
Yeah, it's got to be the best place to have a coffee, I must admit. You want a decent coffee, but when you've got an outlook like the old revolving restaurant, it's sensational.
Yeah, it really is second to none, and we're really looking forward to eventually being able to open for events up there, much like the one that you held.
Yeah. Look, on the subject of Milk Chef and teaching people, are you teaching them to be professional baristas or just to make a good cup of coffee at home?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing, and that's why I went with the strange name that I did. So Milk Chef, the reason I chose that name is because it really speaks to what I wanted to do in the hospitality industry, in the barista community. So, obviously milk is fairly self-explanatory, whether it's alternative milks like soy, almond, oat, rice, coconut, they've got a million these days, or whether it's just normal cow milk. That's the medium that most people use to enjoy their coffee. And then the reason I chose the word chef was because chefs are actually generally highly trained and skilled people. They've spent lots of time learning their craft, the techniques, the ingredients they use, the methods that they use behind the exceptional cuisine. So I wanted Milk Chef to signify someone that is more than just a barista, someone that can not only serve a good, delicious cup of coffee, but can tell you everything about it, about its origin, its roast profile, its processing method, and so on and so forth. And that's the idea behind Milk Chef. We really want to train exceptional baristas. And the idea sort of came to me because the word barista is starting to get used over and over and over in the industry. It's like get a barista coffee at McDonald's and all these kinds of things. So I thought to myself, look, I mean, I have to try, and the idea was that I needed a new term that would signify that certain caliber of barista that, would make people proud to say, I'm a milk chef, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, there are coffees and there are coffees, aren't there? Let's face it. And you don't go to McDonald's to get you don't go to McDonald's to get a really good coffee. Yeah, well, that's right. So I teach specialty coffee techniques to people and methods and all that kind of thing. So, it's great. I really, really enjoy it. Most of those who just love a coffee are always fascinated by the artwork. Do you also teach that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do latte art courses as well. I actually teach everyone from, beginners to those really intense home baristas that are on all the blogs and everything like that. And I also teach business owners and their staff as well if they want to upskill and learn what's new in the industry and what the latest specialty coffee trends are.
Sam, my son, Sam, is also a barista at Liquid in the city, and there's more to making a coffee. I mean, you're talking about it, you studied psychology and so forth. A good barista is a real people person, a real communicator. I mean, they form a link in the chain, and to a lot of people, it's a vital part of their day, to get that coffee, to have a little bit of a chat. It really sets the day off with a smile.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess, especially not to harp on about COVID, but at these times as well, it's about getting that positivity into the community. And as a barista, if we can be there, if you get a bad coffee, it can, you look forward to that really good coffee in the morning, and a bad coffee can sort of
ruin your day.
I didn't want to say ruin your day, but well, it really does put a bit of a dampener on the start of the day, people want to get their nice cup of coffee, and then they can, for a lot of people, that coffee, that it really does start their day. Their day doesn't start before they get that first cup in. It's sort of like, don't talk to me till I've had my coffee,
It'd be fair to say, though, Sam, a good barista is only as good as the coffee bean, so you've really got to have the best product.
Yeah, that's right. So what specialty coffee actually means is there's a scale whereby the green bean is actually scored. So when it comes to specialty coffee, that's actually a coffee green that is scored 80 points or higher. Mm-hmm. So if you ever see specialty coffee, they should be serving coffee that is 80 points or higher, which just means that it's been looked after right from the plant, right through the processing method until it reaches the barista and then goes in your morning cup of coffee.
And where does the best coffee come from, or best coffee beans?
Yes. Look, that's a really hard question, and I know if anyone is listening from an origin, I can't say. What I can say is that because of the specialty coffee industry and giving back to farmers at origin, coffee all over the world is actually starting to really improve in its quality. So we're getting fantastically nuanced coffees from places like Colombia and Ethiopia, and it's all over the world now because of that giving back from the specialty coffee community. It's really fantastic. So I don't want to have to choose one.
No, that's fair enough. You've got to be diplomatic.
Yeah, I've got to be diplomatic. That's right.
Look, Sam, time to go. But just before we do, if somebody is a bit interested in finding out more about Milk Chef, or in fact enrolling in your courses, what should they do?
Yeah. Okay, so you can find us at www.hellomilkchef.com, and I'm sure, Graeme, a lot of your listeners drink coffee or know someone that does or has a machine at home. So if that's you, do get in touch. I'm actually doing a new lot of group classes which teaches you all about if you want to get to know more about your morning cup of coffee, whether that's at the cafe or at home, just get in touch, and you can get discount on our group course.
Brilliant. Sam, great to talk to you today. We wish you well.
Worries. Yeah, likewise. All right, have a good one.
Sam Hermel, the milk chef, and learning just a little bit more about coffee. It's hard to beat a good coffee, isn't it?